her warmness, everything, the way she's not being an international artist. I feel proud in interviewing an international artist. You know what I mean?
Well, you're giving international love right now, Dr.
Right,
Love, and I
right now I feel
appreciate
like a
it.
group because me are international.
No, man, we're
So,
all just people, you know.
right. So tell us how that song come about and you know that song.
All right. It might be the most difficult song I ever have to write. That's
Right,
for sure. I've been in the business now for over 15 years.
right.
So definitely been around, meet a lot of people, gone through
Mm-hmm.
some situations. But in 2019, I was on a tour,
Mm-hmm.
on a reggae tour.
Right,
And we were touring from, I set up the tour in Singapore, Malaysia, and Indonesia.
right.
But then now the tour go to Australia,
Mm.
and they bring me on the tour as an artist,
Right,
not as a promoter when we gone to Australia.
right,
So, and then after that, the tour is supposed to go to Japan.
right,
So during this time, we did our first show in Melbourne, Australia.
right.
And on this tour, the headlining artist of the tour sexually assaulted my assistant.
Whoa.
So my assistant is also a good friend of mine.
Right.
She's a young girl from Singapore, very quiet, very sheltered.
Mm-hmm.
And she was mentoring under me. Like, I see she have a good mind, you know, but she's just too shy and
Right.
close up, you know. So bring her on the road and teaching her a whole heap of things, and
Mm-hmm.
everything was going nice. We toured Singapore, we toured Malaysia, we
Right.
toured Indonesia.
Right.
But now when we hit Australia now, after the Melbourne show,
Mm-hmm.
one night, I get call away from some people I meet at the festival because they want me to run some dub plates.
Right.
So I leave out to go to the studio to record some dub plates.
Mm-hmm.
And so the girl is staying in our Airbnb
Mm-hmm.
to work on some videos. She's on the tour filming us.
Well, I don't mean to cut it. Do me a favor, cause people are
Yeah,
asking.
sure.
Cause me don't know if you do it. Can you type your Facebook name at the bottom of the
Major
page?
one.
Yeah, type it. Okay. Then I want to pin it. Type it that I could pin it because every time I try to type something here, it always give me problems. So can you type it? Somebody type major one for me and let me pin it.
We just type it. We just type it.
Okay. Well, I don't see it come up as yet. Okay. Yes. Yeah, okay. Yes. See, it's right. See, me I tell you, technology. Oh, when you hold, you hold. Wait, did I pin the wrong one? Wait, I pinned the wrong. Wait, let me pin. You see me pin the wrong one. Okay, there you go. No, there you go. There's our Facebook name and our Instagram name. Okay, sorry about that. You can go ahead.
That's all right. So yeah, so after the Melbourne show, I get called away to a studio. So it's the first time I leave a girl. Before that, she's shooting me like it's a reality show. She's by my side. She's at my foot every moment, you know.
Right.
And so I finally go away. Now in this Airbnb, I have my own room. She have her own room, and the next artist have his own room.
Right.
But the problem now is that we share a common area. So we share a living room, kitchen space, all them things. So she was in the living room, in a shared area. So I can say that I come home late that night.
Right.
And I find her just freeze up, looking like she's seen a ghost or something happened to her.
Right.
But by then, I'm coming back from the studio at like 4 or 5 a.m. I'm frost out.
Right.
I said, "What happened to you, girl?" She's gone to sleep, man. And I just go to my bed.
Right.
The next morning, I noticed that she is in the shower for almost an hour. And I say, "Why is this girl showering for 1 hour? Like, what happened to her?" And then so we come out into the kitchen. The artist was just like, "Good morning, Major. Everything is normal."
Right.
We look at the girl. The girl is looking down on the ground. She cannot look anybody in the eye. She looked like something really fuck up.
Wow.
Now, I want to say two things. You have to understand that first, before this night, we were all laughing together and just having a good time on tour and experiencing the thing, and everything was fine. The other thing I would say is this artist that was the perpetrator was someone I considered a friend.
Right.
Somebody that I trusted. It's not like we want to speak bad against this person because out of nowhere we want to say bad things about him. No.
Right.
He was someone that I considered a friend.
Right.
But from when I see the girl act that way, and I've done a lot, I've been around the block, so I know when something happened to a woman.
Right.
And how she start to act, you know?
Right.
So as soon as he leave out, I say, "What happened to you?" And she just looking on the ground, shaking her head like she don't want to see me. I say, "Okay, let me just ask you some things, and you just have to nod yes or no. You don't have to tell me what happened."
Right.
So I say, "He tried to hug you," and she's like this. "He tried to kiss you," she's like this. I'm like, "You have to try to have sex with you,"
Right.
and she freeze up, and she start tears just pouring down her face.
Wow.
And she just tell me, I don't have the words to tell you. I don't have the words to even tell you.
Wow.
And from that moment, I know something happened. So I don't ask her to say anything. I said, would you like to go see a doctor? And she said, yes, I think that would be a good idea. So we are in Australia, you know. I don't know. I don't have that many links in Australia. So we are just two foreign girls in a foreign land trying to figure this thing out. And I never experienced something like this before. So take her to a doctor. The doctor said, well, she wants to get a rape kit done. You know, the test they give girls, like they give you right after a sexual assault happened to, so that you can submit to the police and them kind of things. But they said in Australia, you cannot have a rape kit done unless you're willing to press charges against the person.
Wow.
So you have to remember, this girl is a very sheltered girl, you know. And she just start crying. She said, I don't want to ruin everything. I was just here to help, and now I don't know what to do. And she's crying and press charges. And I said, look, you tell me something. If whatever happened to you last night have happened to me, what would you do? And she said, I would want him fucking dead.
Wow.
And from then I know she get raped. From then I know that girl got hurt badly. And from there we pressed the charges. And the start of that song, I was sitting inside the hospital, and inside my head, something just stuck in my head, the loop going, not all that glitters is gold, not all that shines is the light. Because this man is someone I trusted. And he wanted to make me a big artist, you know. Him take me to Jamaica before and bring me on, you know, RETV and a whole heap of Jamaican media to big me up, basically. And so he was trying to promise me this glitter life, the star life, you know? And so that's why it stuck in my head that not all that glitters is gold and not all that shines is the light. And I cannot do what I'm told if what I'm told isn't right. So I have to just talk truth right now.
So people, let me just go back on that for some people may just coming in. So let me tell you something. Let me make this very clear first before I go any further. And I just keep it real. Now, this young lady, we're doing an interview. She's not on my page to look a boss because she's already boss already. She's not on here to look fans. She already have fans already. She's not here trying to gain you as Jamaican to support her because she wants to be in the industry. She's already in the industry. She's already doing it big already. So this is not what it is. We're doing an interview and so forth. And I've heard about the story and so forth as we talked about it previously and so forth. And I said, okay, we're going to talk about the song, whatever. She's not putting out a song to hope that you guys is going to support her through the song because of that. So what happened, she was on tour with a particular artist, a particular huge Jamaican artist. And she was on tour and her friend was on tour. And while they was on tour, she was in the studio doing her thing and so forth. Her friend was back at the Airbnb, let's just say back at the hotel with this particular artist. Now this particular artist, right, of what I've been told, let me just use the word allege, right? Rape this young lady, right? Force himself on the young lady, have sex with her, all kind of intercourse, whatever it is. And it's a person that's not really out there, but it's a person that's on the tour of getting into the music and so forth. And when you have somebody like that, and you got artists out there that are Arnie, I call them Arnie artists, right? That don't understand that is not everything you can get.
That's fine.
And not only that too, the sign of it is that when a woman tell you no, no me no. Even if you're having sex with your girlfriend or your wife and she said no, no me no. And one of the
problems that Dr. Love, respect,
that in music industry, what I realized, me in the music industry, I've seen a lot of things and so forth. Some of these artists, they will go around, they will rape little boys, they will rape little girls, and because them have a name, then feel like say it is okay for their name to protect them. And then people don't believe somebody when somebody said they have been raped. And rape happen every single day, right?
Yes,
and for an artist to hold a girl down and have sex with her and so forth. Let me tell you something. One thing I know. You see, here in the United States of America, if a woman cry out rape and that woman have go to the hospital, I don't know about no other country and so forth. Trust me, once you do it, they're gonna find you guilty because it's going to be proved that it happened, right? In foreign countries, kind of different and all of that and blah 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 blah. But at the end of the day, the person that suffered through this is the victim, the person that have been abused. And a lot of reggae artists out there are rapists. They go around and they do these things and they get away with it, and because nobody is pressing charge on them and so forth, it becomes a part of their life. It becomes norm. Because you know, I've been on tour where I've gone tour with artists. You know, I go to Europe and I see the way these artists is when them see the little girls, them and they look pretty, them head boss, and so them promise them. Well, like one particular artist I know, he don't sing that much anymore. I know of a girl, and we was doing a show. The show was in Maryland, and I was there, and the artist was there, and the artist go up to the girl and talking to the girl and blah 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 blah. And you know, the girl came on our team, and it was promised the girl, because the girl could sing, so listen, I'm gonna boss you, I'm gonna make you be the biggest thing, I'm gonna do this for you. But then when the girl told me about it, I'm saying to myself, but this artist not really going on with anything. He need a boss right now because he's not relevant in any form of way. But he's promising the girl is because he needs some sex. And when artists need sex, they will do these things and
a different type of boss, you know.
Different kind of boss. They look, they need boss. And for this particular artist to, because I'm using the word allege, for this artist to do this and so forth, and rape this young lady and so forth, right? I wasn't there, she wasn't there, but it's based on what we hear and so forth. So we are going off of that and so forth. But one thing I know for sure, you ever hear a thing in a life called karma? And some of these artists, they have little girls and they have little boys. And they don't understand that, listen, the things that you do to people, girl pitney, it a go come around to your girl pitney, or your girl pitney, or feed them pitney. It's generation of curse of generation of a problem. So we're not here talking about, say, we're talking about, oh, trying to paint a picture on anybody or so forth. But she did a song based on what happened to her friend and so forth. And regardless if she come on my live or not, or regardless if it's playing Jamaica or not, the song is big anyway. She already have a name already. She already have an international name. She already toured the world. So at the end of the day, she don't need this platform to make a statement. We're doing an interview, and it's a part of the interview and so forth. And I really hope that whoever doing the investigation will do the proper investigation. And if this person did do something like that, I am really hoping the mercy of God that they will put him in our cell where there's no toilet, there's nothing, that there's punishment. Now, people may say, oh, you shouldn't do this. No. Punish somebody for a crime, just like Bill Cosby. Bill Cosby have done something years ago, and Bill Cosby have ended up in jail. We have a lot of Jamaican Bill Cosby in the music industry. A lot of Jamaican Bill Cosby in the music industry. We can go back to a thing as Jack Cure, for example. How what happened with Jack Cure? Jack Cure did time in jail for stuff, you know what I mean, for rape. He was found guilty. So once you find guilty of it, you do it, right? No, other people find guilty and may not do it. But then Jack Cure was previously in another situation like that and so forth, where it didn't go anywhere, but rape happened every day. And okay, you don't know, people are gonna say you're Chiney, right?
Yeah. Like I have one lyric in the song that says, talent don't mean you have a principle.
Right.
So sometimes the man voiced like a dream. Beautiful, you know.
Right.
But you know, I think that one thing I love about Jamaica is that music catch people, and people feel music in their heart so real. And me as an artist, love to perform for an audience that just understand music and love the spirit of music. Right. But we cannot let the romance and that spirit of music say, well, because the man sing good, he can't do nothing bad. They have nothing to do with each other. Talent don't mean you have a principle. So I think what I gotta say is that when the thing happened, a lot of people victim blaming, you know, or come to me like, Mirja, how you know that happened? You was there? You was there to watch the rape happen? Right. I say, what kind of stupid question is that? Right. No, I wasn't there to watch it happen. But I know this girl went from being a healthy, intelligent, and vibrant girl that was on her way, building her confidence and going somewhere, to for the last year and a half, me going to therapy with her, taking her to therapy, she crying, she get triggered. When we watch a movie on TV, she can't watch no sex scene or she get triggered.
Right.
She get fucked up, man.
How old is this girl?
She is 25, 26.
Right.
But you have to understand, in Jamaica, you grow mature really young, you know.
Right.
But in Singapore, you can be very sheltered for a long time.
Right.
She said she had never even heard the term sexual assault until it happened to her.
Wow.
That's how sheltered the girl is.
Wow.
No. When it happened, of course, we see the comments that say, yo, them Chinese girls just want attention.
Right.
I need attention, man. All right.
Right.
And the next one say, these girls look at money from the artists.
Right.
I say, me name Chinese money. Me not look money.
I like that. I like that.
But on a real thing, like we make our money, we are comfortable. It's not, you know, I think even more deeply about all the countryside girls, maybe in Jamaica or in a smaller country or smaller rural town, that an artist do that too, that really cannot have a platform to say anything about it because he's a big, famous artist.
Right.
And she is just some country girl. What's she really gonna say? She can't speak out against the man. So that's how we realize that we are in a unique position. Right. Because they also, I see some comments say, well, that's why you have to be careful when you tour in them Chinese places, because now there's a misunderstanding of culture and them call rape, but maybe it's not rape, it's just cultural misunderstanding.
Right. Well, people have to understand, because look into this now. Now, as an artist see you and then say, oh, it's a nice Chinese girl and so forth. And they may have them fantasies to say, okay, they want a Chinese girl and so forth. I'm going to ask you a question now, and I know you could answer this question. When you was in Jamaica and living in Jamaica, right? We're not talking about name. How many artists come to you and promise you and look in front from you, do everything to get some front from you? How many persons come to you?
I think enough people, right? Like enough artists. Sometimes you go into the studio, the producer say he think you're bad and he wanna do something for you. And come in the studio, the lights turn down low, and you're like, we're not trying to do music here, are we? Right. You know? But how my mouth is rough, you just have to talk truth, and I will just call people out all the time. Right. One time we have one bad man come up to me in a dance, you know, in Kingston, and he hold his gun he hold gun on the clip, and say, you're Chinese. You have to give me your number, you know. Right. And it's scary. I mean, I'm a Singaporean girl, and the man hold a gun and ask for my phone number. Right. So I have to say, what, you need a gun to look pussy? And everyone just laugh and this kind of thing, and then laughing and laughing. But let's say I am not that kind of personality. Right. Let's say I am the personality of my assistant. Right. Why should she even be in that situation? She would not know what to say. And you know, and it should not be a skill of a woman to learn how to duck and avoid rape in the music industry. Like, it's a skill, you know? Right. It should not be a skill, man. You just have to behave yourself and show some self-control. Right. And then you know what I don't like with people too? And not because you're here on the show, what I don't like with people, right? Not because they may call you Chinese, or you may look Chinese, or a person may be white and whatever it is, because they open their mouth and say something. People always get this black and white thing where I never understand. It's like, okay, if a white woman say a black man do something, or a Chinese somebody, you know, them say, oh, well, because the black, the Chinese want to do this. But the Chinese have feelings too, and the Chinese have pumps too, where every man want some of the Chinese pumps. So guess what, then the idea? Who not going to say, well, that man not going to look at Chinese girl, and not going to look at whatever it is. And you're not a bad looking girl. So the fact that you're not a bad looking girl now, what's going to happen in the music industry and so? Me not cute looking, but guess what happen? When the girls them see me and all of that, them say Dr. Love them love me and whatever it is and so forth. Everybody like who them like. So the thing with these rape charges and so forth, there's a lot of artists that are living, and this is one of the reasons why so much little girls have been disappear in Jamaica, cannot find them, because they have been raped and they have been murdered by regular civilians and by artists, producer, police, government official. When you can't find this little girl, as soon as you see a little girl missing for a month or 2 months, you can just mark her as death, rape. And the reason why them kill them, because them identify the face and know who the person is. So them end up killing them and so forth. And this happened and the government have done nothing about it. So when an artist leave Jamaica and go rape
right?
Mm.
And feel like
Mm.
it is whatever it is and so forth. And let me tell you something. As a man, you can't believe things and you can't believe things and you can't know what is true from what is not true. And there's
Sure.
always a lot of good truth to the story with a lot of things. And for this particular person to turn around and do this and so forth, it is not good. What's going on with the investigation right now? Is there any?
It's it's still open, but our lawyer, is sharing that it might be a political issue because if the charge go forward, then they have to involve two embassies because it's two foreigners have a problem in a foreign country.
Okay.
Let me tell you this, and say what you will. I'm gonna talk truth right now.
Right.
If my assistant was a blonde, white Australian girl,
right,
you best believe the investigation already done in the man lockup. But
right,
this situation is two foreigners
right,
in a foreign land.
right,
When this thing happened, I take myself off tour.
right.
But I never chat the man's name because I'm not stupid and I don't want to get until the charge come in, I want to get sued for defamation or whatever it is. So I never
Right.
say anything.
Right.
And I also want to make sure everything is okay. The only thing in my mind is to make sure my sister is safe
Right.
and okay.
Right.
So I take myself off of the tour. I just go.
Mm-hmm.
And the man come out and call himself out and say, and people are saying things about me and this mischievous behavior. And the truth is, Misha One is a bitch. And
Right.
she was so difficult on tour that we kick her off the tour. And once we kick her off the tour, she's so bitter that she make up a story about rape on her
Right.
assistant. But hear me now.
Mm-hmm.
The Singapore Dub Club, the events company I run, is the one that booked that tour. We went from Singapore, Malaysia, Indonesia.
Right.
So tell me how I can kick myself off of my own tour.
That don't make no.
That makes sense.
That don't make no sense because
But
if you book the artist and you are the one in charge of the tour, you are the
I'm
one
not kick myself off.
Oh, you're gonna kick us. Who's gonna run the tour?
Right. So I mean, there's this assumption, of course, if it's a big reggae tour, that it's not a woman organizing the thing, but it actually was. So a whole heap of lies, a whole heap of problems. But the most important thing I want to say is two things. Two things, really.
Right.
One, I want to release the song because this is a community effort.
Right.
For all the little girls out there that get hurt, whether it's Jamaica, whether she's Jamaican, whether she's Chinese, whether she's green or blue or brown, we not care.
Right.
I think that it's important for the community to understand that it is a community effort because a perpetrator depends on silence and isolation for him to go on and get away with all them dirty things that he does,
Right.
That's what he depends on. And if the community, whether it's a reggae community or a hip-hop community or a dance hall community, to say, no, we don't stand for these violations on our brothers and sisters in the dance.
Right.
Then that man have more pressure because he can't act like that anymore.
Right.
So it is really, I put out this song because I want to raise the consciousness of the community. And we get a whole heap of sound system selectors to play the song and say, "Bon vampire business," and we don't support rape in our music that we love. And if we uplift the community to a level that we call out them kind of things.
But with this, let me ask you a question. With this whole situation and so forth, have like any fear of going to Jamaica? Any fear within yourself as any like persecution?
Good question. Good question.
How are you like coping with it as knowing that somebody's pointing their finger at you for something they have done and you know them and they know you and so forth? How do you feel about going to Jamaica? What's your fear with it?
Well, I can say this, like, the man gonna have to point a finger at me and not at my assistant because she only have 100 people listening to her. And me have 100,000 people listening to me.
Right.
So if I speak out against rape, I speak out against the violations, then I am more of the threat than the girl that don't have an influence.
Right. And the girl
definitely
the girl had never been to Jamaica before, right?
No, I bring her to Jamaica before.
Okay.
I brought her to Jamaica before, and
right.
yeah. So I gotta say, it hurt my heart. I had to think long and hard before I released the song because, God no, I love Jamaica. I know I am not Jamaican, but something in my heart, maybe in a few lifetimes ago, I was born in like St. Catherine or something. Because I love Yeah, like I love it.
But
And it hurt.
you know what? I don't mean to cut you, but a lot of people is watching, and a lot of females are watching me right now who end up being raped, still going through rape things. I know somebody personally right now who somebody tried to rape, and up till to the date, that person remember the rape that have take place. And the fact that it have, and let me say something to you. I'm gonna come in with something that don't have much to do with it. Well, let me play the song. Let me play the song and go back to that because I'm gonna hear something. So people, I'm gonna play this song. I want you to listen to the song. And you see, songs, it's spirit. It's a medicine for the heart. You can listen to us and you can know the meaning of it. Listen to the song again.
Hard truth. Not all the shades of the light.
That song, I can tell you, that song is not only a message, but that song is a hit. And I can tell you, you're going to get so much support for that song. And I'm going to bring this up because it has nothing to do with it. But let me tell you something. Oh, I'm not a female, but it's hard for a female. No, when I was 13 years old, I was living with my mom, and a family member see me and decided to say, okay, they want me to be a part of their family. I never in my life had grown up at a young age. We only see dog and cow have sex and things like that with peep children and so forth. But then this is a living truth, and I raised my right hand to talk about it and my kids' life. So then I live with the family, and I was only 12 and a half, 13. And I remember one day I was in the house, and the woman said to me, the woman called my name and said, Chris. And I said, yes, right? And some things feel like it's like you're born, and either you're born with certain things or whatever it is. And I remember when the person called me, I would never forget the size of the room. I would never forget the bed. And I remember how dark the room is. So when I turned the corner, it was a little, oh, when I turned the corner, the room, the door was open, but the room was dark. And I walked into the room, and I will never forget this word at 12, 13 years old. The woman said to me, said she want me to play with her pum pum. I never forgot that word. Never forgot that word. So when she said that and so forth, I can't say I remember what my feeling was. How did I feel at that moment? But I know that the act carried out, and it carried on for quite a long time. And I had sex when I was 12, 12, 13, about that, 12, 13, 14. I never forgot the woman said she wanted to play with her pum pum. I never forgot that, right?
And you was a child.
I was a child.
And you was a child.
I was a child that time, right? That's why people have to be careful or you send a picnic to people's yard. Anyway, that happened and happened and happened till it's called a demonic thing. You see, rape is a demonic thing. Is a demon that a person have upset in their life. So that happened, and I'm sleeping with this person for quite a long time. I never tell my mother. I never tell somebody, because if I talk, I would have heard that he's a liar, or if I didn't talk, I would have end up dead. That's how bad it was. Anyway, I reached to a point where there was a helper that was at the house. I get so comfortable now within sex that the helper actually live here in the state of New Jersey. And when I was coming to America, the helper actually bring me to this place where I have to look about the documents and so forth. And I run into a couple years in Jersey. And I went to her one day and said to her, I said, if she can give me some pum pum. Never forgot. That time I probably up in the 13, 14, I said she can give me some pum pum. And she said, what you gonna do with pum pum? And she was way older than me. Right? Anyway, you want to see me as a little boy, I said, me get pum pum. Right? Now, because of that previous person that have indebted that in my life at a young youth, right? Now, I'm glad say it was a woman and it's not a man. No, but here's the thing now with that.
They're more violent.
That happened over and over and over and over and over till I become so sexual active to that person. And one day out of the blue, I went and I talked to somebody about it, a friend of mine about it. And the friend said, I like it. And then me try to prove so much to the person. It's like me I talk about it now and just bring me back to them time there. Me try to prove so much to the person of what take place, how it happened, whatever it is. I remember one time when I came, I'm gonna just phrase it in some ways. I remember one time that woman let me have sex with her. And only thing me can remember, it was going on for days and days. I wasn't eating, I wasn't drinking. Me get up, me just drop on the ground. So at my young age, I never want to tell nobody because I was scared of getting killed. And I straight up them life. And that happened till I break away from that. Right? Break away, and it took me years to get over that. And me as a man, I can tell you, say, I was raped. That was literally rape.
Yes, I'm sorry it happened to you.
It was bad, and I talk about this in my life before, but going through that and so forth. Now, sometimes I think about it and I say, oh, well, I'm glad that did happen because it made me be this person, whatever, and blah, blah. But at the end of the day, how much little boys have been raped by man and raped by woman and cannot talk because if they talk, they becomes a lie. So put myself as a man now in that girl position is that she was raped because she was there. She know what happened. We wasn't there and so forth. Think about how she feel. Think about the suicidal. Think about the crazy thing that goes through her mind. Think about how she feel less than a woman. And you know what I mean? Think about how she's scared of man. Or that man have put a fear in her life where no, she don't even want to go around man and so forth. Even if she have a boyfriend, it becomes a zombie in her life and so forth. Right? And it happened over and over and over and over to people. And sometimes people don't believe people. And even when then the truth is right there. Can I have a number? Can I have even when the truth is there and they are found them guilty, it's still a problem. I'm gonna tell you something.
Yeah.
There is a lot of male artists in Jamaica. Bill Cosby that's walking around, that's walking and raping little boys and raping little girls, and nothing comes out of it. And it happened only in Jamaica, it happened in America, it happened in Europe, it happened
all around the world.
All around the world it happened. I have known another female artist. As a matter of fact, I know 2 female artists, right? That one of them have been raped 2 times. 2 times. And the 2 times the person have been raped and so forth, I know 2 of the raper. 2 of the man, one of the man that did one, and one that did the other one. And I heard about it and whatever it is and so forth. And when these girls talk about it, people tell them, say I lie, them I tell. And I personally know 2 of the person who physically carry out rape. And I see them and people glorify them. People say, oh, John Brown, that one is nice and so forth. And me know within myself, say, them are rapists. Because me know a woman where it happened to, and I've been around the black where I hear conversation and I've seen things with my own eyes for myself. That there's no doubt about it. You understand what I'm saying? So people don't be quick to judge and say, okay, well, she a Chiney, I lie, she a tell.
Exactly.
Chiney and so forth. What about when somebody at Jamaica cry out for rape and so forth? What you gonna say? Oh, I lie, she a tell? Or because she a Chiney, I will say, well, I lie, could get a tell or whatever it is. Or I lie, she a tell. Even Vegas talk about it over and over. Vegas have talked about this whole rape situation over and over that have happened. And too much people have sheltered these Jamaican artists that walk around and rape over and over and over and over. And I hope that this young girl, no, you can't put back what happened to her. You can't change what happened to her. But I hope that the law in that country will find this to be truth and find that person guilty of something that they have committed, right? Because they have done something and they're going to sit back. Let me tell you something. Sometimes I see some things in the media, I laugh about it. And I have a lot of reasons why I laugh about some things. I just smile and just say, ah, boy. And I have all my reasons why I laugh about a lot of things in the media. And the media is a thing that will damage you so much and make you look like whatever it is. No, a lot of artists, even a two-person woman or rape, they will never, under any circumstances, ever see me and come to me and say, Dr. Love A, B, and C, or whatever it is. They will never. Even if I call a name, they will never even come after me in any form to say, because guess what happened? I'm the living truth. I got the truth and I know the truth, and guess what happened? I will support the female and I will back up the female with
respect.
It's just like, for example, when we're gonna go to one person, not to mention it, but it's just like when somebody raped Tana Stevenson and she come out with it and said she was raped. So much female crucify and say, girl, you're wicked, you're liar, nothing no go like that, and you just look a boss now or whatever it is. And I saw the story. And when I saw the story, I sent her a message in Facebook. And when I sent her the message in Facebook, I sent her my number. I was driving. I'm a phone.
Yeah.
The person. No, I think she said to me, say, oh, if. No, the person said, oh, you know him. No, me text Tanya. The first name and the last name. And she text back and she said, oh, you know. I'm going to say, okay, I tell her, oh, me know. I'm going to give her my number. I was talking on the phone for a long time. And she said, you see, all people have beat me. I want me explain to her exactly what happened. Remember, I never did it. But me explain to her what happened, where she was coming from the night, and how the person will have done and rape her, how she couldn't talk. And when she have go to all of the therapy and so forth, that she can finally. She go to therapy, and the one time the girl come out and say, she was raped, everybody murdered her and said, I like she had killed her, whatever it is, and she had cracked it, you had cooked it, this and that.
What I never understand is, why would anyone want to make up that story? Because let me tell you, for Chinese culture, for Asian culture, the worst thing you can do is lose your face. You always have to have a proper, you're just a proper Chinese person.
Right.
So the most terrible thing you can do is come out and say, I was raped. Because the Chinese families, the Asian families will tell you that don't tell no one. We don't want to embarrass the family. We don't want to embarrass this person, that person. So it took a lot of strength for this young girl to say, Meja, I want to come out about it. I don't want to hide it. And I asked her why she wanted to do that, because I'm worried about her, and her dad will know, her uncle will know. Singapore is a small place, And she said, because I know he is still out there, and I'm very scared he'll do it to someone else. Well, and I could not live with myself if he go do that to someone else.
Right. Well, they're gonna keep doing it.
And when we came out and said, I'm gonna take myself off tour, I get 4 DMs from 4 different women in 2 different countries to say, we're glad you come out and say it, because this same artist made us feel very uncomfortable. One of them was a dancehall dancer. She said this same artist was in Australia last year, and he offered me a plane ticket to Jamaica for sex. Then a next girl in Italy say that, I used to do PR for him, but he made me feel so uncomfortable and so terrible. I say, why you don't do something about it? Why don't you speak out about it? And she said, no, because the man that brought him here is my fiance, and he'll kill me. He'll be so mad that this happened. And so a lot of these women, one of the girls did actually speak out, and she write a police report and file it in Australia for us.
Wow.
So we did have a backing from one of the girls, but 4 of the girls said, no, we just wanted to share with you that you did and stand up for the thing that we could never have done, because we was too embarrassed or upset about the thing. So already I know my assistant is not the only one.
Right.
And I think it's important to speak out about this. Number one, for the community to believe survivors and support survivors. And number two, me as, you know, I'm representing and bringing authentic reggae to Singapore, which is very, very far away from Jamaica.
Right.
So let me tell you, there is a whole heap of stereotype, because everyone on this side of the world think that all reggae is just about the smoke thing.
Right.
And it's very, very illegal in Singapore to smoke herb. You cannot do it.
Oh, for real?
Like, even a small little pinner is a minimum 2 years in jail.
Really? Oh, yes. You know what I've been? You know what I've been? Yes, because I watch a lot of prison video all over the world, and I remember seeing some guys in jail for some simple thing as smoking. Yes.
Yeah, Singapore will cane your ass. Them get one kung fu man and cane your backside if you're smoking. Trust me, it doesn't feel good. They cane you, you know. So the stereotype about all Jamaican music is that everyone smoke weed. Everyone is just there like that. And I said, no man, Jamaica is a culture. So we start cooking the food and making some nice like jerk pan and sharing that this is not just about some weed culture. This is about, you know, food and laughter and literature and poetry and music, and it is a culture between people. So then we work really hard to break those stereotypes. The next stereotype about reggae music now was reggae music is for poor people.
Right.
That's what people tell me, because we try to get sponsorship for the show, and they were like, nah man, reggae music for poor people.
Whoa.
Yeah. So I purposely book all of our parties at the most expensive places in Singapore.
Whoa.
And we gone to the top and most 5-star places and throw one big blood clot bash to show them that reggae music is for everybody, not poor people.
For poor people.
All right. So we break that stereotype. And this is over years that I'm breaking this stereotype.
Right.
And everyone start to accept it and like the culture now and say, wow, this thing is nice. And people, look, Chinese people in Singapore are real stressed out. They work too much. They're very like, they don't have dreams in life. They don't follow their passion. So suddenly there's a party, they're listening to reggae music, they hear the message and they're like, this is nice, we can take it easy, so it's good. Right. And then there's also the idea of racism, right? How Chinese people look different from black people. And so they're like, well, you know, Major, I mean, I really know this black people music and this kind of thing. So we start to break down those barriers too. Right. We bring in Mighty Crown. We bring out the authentic, we bring in Sister Nancy, who like showing them the original chat and everything. All right. So years, we are breaking down the stereotypes of racism, of whatever prejudice. And I booked the wrong artist, and we bring in the wrong artist, and now the artist turned rapist. And now all of these venues and bookers say, Major, see, we told you we don't want reggae music because it brings rapists. Wow. Wow. And me as not a person that is criticizing Jamaica, you know, I love Jamaica. I love Jamaican culture. I love Jamaican people. Jamaican people take care of me, whether I'm down in the ghetto and they give me their last rice and peas and cow food or whatever. They give me the last of their food and they take care of me. So I love Jamaican people. Somebody text me and asked me a question. And I say I wasn't going to ask the question. I've been ignoring the question. And it's a question that you don't have to answer the question, but... All right. No, it's a weird question. Anyway. The person said, ask her if this particular person was her friend and if this person ever make a move at her before that she had declined. It's a good question. Right. I think this person was my friend. Right. When I first meet him, he kind of sweet on me, but you know, for me, I just push it off as like Jamaican man chat, you know, sweet words and that kind of things, like Chiney, you know, you look good and everything, and you know, so those kind of things are just like yeah. But when the man start to know me now, and he understand that I'm about my business, I have opportunity for him. I can open up a market of millions of people to him, because a lot of Jamaican artists never come to this side of the world. Right. When he realized that there is money attached to our relationship, he realizes that if he fuck with me, that means he loses the opportunity as well. Right. So I can say that the man sometimes say some sweet things like, you know, Chiney, you are the sweetest Chinese face I ever see. You know, now and then you hear them things there, you know, but nothing that ever make me feel like So uncomfortable. I can tell you that this is somebody that I trusted. This is somebody that I considered a mentor.
Right.
He told me that he thought I had a special talent or you know, singing and everything.
Right.
He was telling me about Rankin Pumpkin. You know about Rankin Pumpkin?
No,
They go on like some Magnum dancehall king and queens battle, you know. And he's like, you're not that kind of person. You actually can chat and you actually understand the music. So he believed in me. And this person believed in me, and his confidence in me meant so much to me. I look up to this person until this happened. All right. But I will tell you this. The night that it happened, and I know along the tour, him have his little girls, and in Indonesia, him did get a prostitute. And
wait. Let's go back there. So, you know something like your vibe. So you're saying that in Indonesia, the particular artist did get a prostitute and buy prostitute and get prostitute.
He requested it from my friend that was the main booker. And he don't really make it so in front of our face, you know. You think everybody asleep and that kind of thing, and go do those things. Look, I'm not thrilled about it, but everyone's business is their business, so we just left it alone, right? It's not like I really want to judge people and you know, be in their face and that kind of thing. But no, the night before this happened, the man started get antsy, you know, and he say, Mirja, you know, here in Australia, there is some very discreet places. And, you know, me like, what's discreet place? What does that mean? It's like, well, you know, some gentleman club. I was like, what's a gentleman club? I mean, I know. And then he started describe the thing. And he said, I want you to look out for me. Like, come with me there, but just watch my back. And I'm sitting, I say, a brothel? You want me to go to a brothel with you? And he's like, no, man, don't say that. It's a very discreet place. It's a gentleman club.
Right.
And I said, look here. Why you don't just sleep with a groupie that come off the stage that is interested in you, you know?
Right.
Or we're staying in a nice part of Australia, a whole hype scene and nightclub and everything. Why don't, tonight I cannot go because I'm going to the studio.
Right.
But tomorrow, let's go to the club and have a dinner and dance and just meet a nice girl and just gone off with a girl. Like, find a girl that like you, you know?
Right.
And he told me he don't go with the groupies because the promoters were watching and he don't like people in his business like that. So he would rather go to a discreet gentleman club.
Right.
And so I say, I don't know, man. You know, me as a woman, I never had somebody ask me to escort them to a brothel before, you know? So it's not even that I say no, because, you know, I'm just trying to be accommodating because I'm still kind of a tour manager at this point.
Right.
So then I'm just like, well, it's a bit strange. And I don't know if I feel comfortable to do that.
Right.
But I want you to be happy, but I don't know if I'm comfortable to do that.
Right.
And so he's like, never mind. Forget that I even say this. Forget I say this. And then as I'm walking out the room, he say, hey, Mirja, don't mention this to my little niece. Because he called my assistant his niece and she called him uncle.
Oh.
And for me, two people that he called her niece, she called him uncle, there's no threat there. It's like there's no sexual threat. It's okay. But I will tell you this. From the moment he meet her, he was hitting on her. Okay? Wow. The first time he meet her, she come up to me after the show and she said, this is how innocent she is. She goes, Mirja, is it a cultural practice in Jamaica to stick your tongue in someone's mouth when you meet them?
Oh. Wow.
And I said, what? And she said, yeah, the man just meet me right now and he kissed me and then I felt his tongue in my mouth. Wow. And I said, that's really weird. No, are you serious? And I'm like, okay, the man is drunk, so you see maybe the man's drinking or something.
Right.
But after that, he had a different tour manager at the time. So I sat down with his tour manager. I said, if I'm going to book this artist, tell him to fucking behave, man. He can't go on like this.
Right.
And it is my fault to not be more firm about it and say, I'm not fucking with you if you act that way.
Right.
So his tour manager and myself had a chat with him and said, look, you cannot act this way. You cannot be like this. All right. And then I had to pull the girl aside and said, this is not Jamaican culture to stick your tongue in someone's mouth when you meet them. Trust me. And listen, you need to learn how to tell people to fuck off.
Right. Pretty much. Wow.
Okay. So from the time that we tell him that, he stopped act bad. And he become the perfect gentleman. And he start call her niece, and she call him uncle, and everything circled back, and everything is cool. And for over a year, we trust this person. We chatting with them on the phone, and we gone in Jamaica, see them, gone to the dance with them, like everything is cool.
Right.
So I just gotta say that this is someone we trusted, and I want to say that if there are artists out there that you're gonna go to a foreign land and represent Jamaica,
right,
please understand that we're fighting against so much stereotype, so much racism, so much of these things that we're working to break down. Don't go overseas and act that way. I mean, you should never rape, period.
Right.
But when you go overseas and do these type of violations, that things stick. And it put in the mind to these Chinese people that this is how Jamaicans act. And I know this is not the case, because I know more good Jamaicans than bad ones. That's for sure.
Right.
So yeah, it really break my heart. This whole situation break my heart.
Right.
I was gonna come out of the music business, you know. But said, I'm done with the fuckery. We don't want to deal with this thing.
Right.
It's fuckery.
Yeah, because
we come into this business because we love music.
Yeah, and she was under your belt. Have you spoke to the artist since that? Any form of conversation at all?
No. From the time it happened, the moment it happened, the moment we gone to the doctor, and she tell the doctor everything, and we gone to the hospital and do the rape kit and everything. We have a phone a brethren who happens to be the producer of this song.
Right.
And we said, we need help. Like, I don't know nobody in this country. You is the only person I trust, and you live far away from the city. It's like a Rasta man that live in the bush, you know?
Right.
So I said, Rasta man, we're coming to your house, and it just happened in 2019. We're coming to your house, and we are going to the bush, and I want this girl to feel safe. That's all my mind can think about, is I want this girl to be safe.
Right.
Now, I am a professional, so I call up the promoter. I said, I cannot tell you where we are, but I'm going to tell you the situation after. But right now, I want to tell you that I'm not going to be performing, and we're going to be away for at least a day.
Right.
Now, the reason I don't tell the promoter everything is because the promoter have his money sunk in this big artist.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
You know? And we have 2 more shows, one in Sydney, one in Perth.
Right.
And so I don't trust anybody that still have money sunk in the man to do something about the situation.
Which is true.
So I didn't say anything about the situation yet. I just told them that we will not be around.
Right.
And then we just left out from that place. And the promoter continued to tour this artist through the cities. In Sydney, the Australian artists rallied behind us, and they said, if this man touched the stage, we're not going to perform.
Wow.
Because they heard about what happened.
Wow.
And so that kind of power from the community to say we don't accept violators, we don't accept this kind of fuckery in this music and culture that we love so much.
Right.
It's a powerful thing. It's a powerful thing.
Wow.
So I hope that this song can inspire the community to come together and say we don't accept violators in our music.
Well, there's one question I want to ask you, and if you can,
sure.
Okay. Do you remember if the young lady, your friend, ever tell you that they physically, right? No, we're not saying did they have sex? You know, like if they physically have sex intercourse. You remember she saying anything like that? The person, if the person, your friend, did she tell you that she and this particular artist did they?
You mean before the rape?
No. In the rape, if there was involvement of physical sex.
Oh yes, there was. I mean, it was a rape. It was actually a sexual assault. It happened 3 times. She was scared. She freeze up.
Right.
I don't know how to describe more, but like this girl is very sheltered, and she come like a little girl, you know.
Right.
So is it and she have a boyfriend for over 12 years in Singapore. She never been with a next man. That is her man from time. Wow. You know. And she is not physically attracted to this artist because this artist is at least twice her age, and she called him uncle.
This person said, yes, she had a rape kit. Okay. Oh.
Yes, she had a rape kit. Right. Now let me tell you this. During the sexual assault, the man say, "Stop, move so much because me now want to hurt you and put marks on you."
Whoa.
So for me, it's somebody that know what they're doing. For me, not every time a rape kid gonna show something, because you know, people think rape come from some man in a bush that gonna jump out at you with a knife and rape you, you know. But this is somebody that we trusted, that we let into our home, that we brought into our country, that we tour every night with, that on the stage with. So you have to understand, this is somebody that we all trusted.
But this is did any news public, because people are asking that kind of question. Is there any let me say something, people. No, let me say something. If there's any news that was publicly went out there by any law enforcement or by anybody that went out there, any news that go out there and so forth, it's okay to say. But if there's no news that is existing, then that's a different conversation. Everybody is asking the same question over and over.
Can I share something? The only news that is out there is in the Jamaican media, because this artist called themselves out and said there are a bunch of what was the word they used? Mischievous or something like that. He just said that people are out there lying about him and make up a story about rape. And I have been in the music industry for 30 years with a spotless history. So the investigation is closed, and they found no merit to the investigation, and done. Now, number one, we never call the man's name, because I have a very close lawyer friend, so I'm protecting myself and the girl. Right? So we never call his name. But the man called his own name out, because people call me up and say, what kind of groupie or roadie or small-time artist did this to your girl? They don't assume the headliner man did it, you know?
Okay, I see what you're saying.
So they thought it was some other artist on the tour that do it. So the man called himself out.
So is there,
Number two.
Do you know, you don't have to say name, but do you know where anybody can find the story? Anybody, people that's watching Keep, you know where they could find the story? If anybody want to go read more about the story, there's anywhere. But if you don't want to, then it's okay, it's no problem. You know what I mean?
I just say that the tour was in 2019 in Melbourne, Australia.
So in 2019, so people could look up 2019, Melbourne, Australia, that's where the tour was. Reggae artist rape, or maybe we can look up reggae artist rape in Australia, right?
And most of it happened in the media that come out about it was in Jamaican media, because this artist returned to Jamaica and hit the media hard. Some of my people in Yard was calling me and say, you know, he pay a whole heap of bloggers to say a lot of things, you know. So I said, all right, well, all I know is I don't want to say. I don't want to say anything, because I only care about the health and safety of my friend. But now, about a year and a half, almost 2 years after the whole thing. No, 2 years after the whole thing now. I'm ready. Well, she's ready. She have enough strength to do this now. She's going to speak. And we're going to do it through the music first, because music is there to free the people, you know. And, yeah. And
I would have loved to talk to her.
And the other thing, maybe we can get her on the show next week.
Yeah, I would love to talk to her.
Let me chat to her, and I think she would be willing to, honestly. And when you meet the girl, you will not believe, like, every stereotype of why did you get raped? What was you wearing? Did you lead them on? Everything. When you see this girl, she is such a proper, quiet, Chiney girl. She don't wear anything sexy. She just like to be comfortable and do her work as a camera woman and this kind of thing, you know?
I know those kind of people.
Not that that should matter, because if I'm in my bra and my panties and I say no, it still means no, you know? But we just say she don't fall into that stereotype at all. Like, at all. She don't flirt, she don't nothing. She's just a very straight girl. So I will talk to her to see if she'll come on.
Yeah, talk to her.
But I will say this. The lie that was told is that the investigation is closed and they found no merit. But this is not true, because the investigation is still going on. I don't have much faith in the Australian police, I tell you the truth.
Okay.
But we're hoping that even when the song come out, maybe someone else has something to say, because I know that when I left that tour, 4 women had something to say about it. And I think about not even foreign, I think about Jamaica, where this person had the most influence, and how many Jamaican women have been hurt that cannot come out and speak against it, because he's most famous in Jamaica. So it's very hard to make that kind of accusation against an elder, authority figure, a famous person, a rich
Right.
person, an influential person. So yeah, man.
Wait a minute. Somebody asked a good question. Is the Jamaican government involved in it? Have they ever? Does the Jamaican government do anything about it? Have you heard anything that they have in any formal way?
I'll tell you this. We wrote a letter to the cultural minister,
Mrs. Green.
but I would also like to share that I met the cultural Babsi,
Olivia, yeah, Babsi Olivia Green, yeah.
Yeah, and a real cool woman, man. We love her a lot. She's cool.
Right.
And I meet her because this artist bring me to meet her because they're friends.
Right.
So it's hard to tell the cultural minister that her friend have a problem.
Well, not really. You should tell her.
But well, we write a letter already, and we wrote it there. We wrote one to the Japanese government because he was going to Japan after. But the truth is, let me tell you how the law works. Like the truth is, until that charge come out into the public, there's nothing I can really say too much other than this song is not a witch hunt for this particular person.
Right.
This song
It's
is for
overall.
me to help my community and help other survivors out there that didn't have a chance to speak out against their person.
Right.
And I just think that if the whole community say we don't accept violations, then people like this perpetrator don't have anywhere to hide. Whether they get arrested or whether it's the laws of the street, that person cannot hide. That's all.
Just look up some. I just look it up on the internet. Oh, okay.
You're not saying nothing.
Yeah, we leave that out. They turn a blind. Yes, they blind. And then, you know what I like about what you said? You said that, okay, some people may call you Chinese or whatever it is, but at the end of the day, you talk about the black, the stereotype and all that and so forth. And as I always said, I do a lot of live and I talk about it. There's a lot of Jamaican Bill Cosby. There's a lot of Jamaican R. Kelly out there. And they're out there every day. And right now, as we're speaking at this minute, at 9:52 US time, artist is out there. Oh boy. I'm just laughing. Artists out there right now at this minute, raping somebody boy pitney or somebody girl pitney. As we speak right now. Some artists out there right now who are feeling up little girls right now at this minute while we are here doing this live talking about the same thing. So I hope that the song will reach, but I hope that the message itself, and as I said, people, this is not about busting this young lady. She already have a name already. It's not like somebody that just a try. She already have her fan base. She already international already. She already have her money. She's already where she is and so forth. And she already good to the music. She's not trying to use it. You know, sometimes people use strategy for boss. This is not what this is about. This is a total different situation that have take place. And she, the best thing she could have done, put it in writing. She could have taken a gun. She could have taken violence. She could have done so much thing while the artist was there. You know what I mean? But she take it in musically. And that music is a thing to express yourself. You know what I mean? So the song, I have to drop the song one more time again before we wrap it up. This song have to drop again, people. Listen to the song. As I said, this song is not to bust her. This is a song for people that have been raped. Listen to it.
I have to let the truth decide, you know? Really just a life. Wolf in sheep clothing might be living at your side. Some good people and people that looks. Melbourne sounds a Perth, Sydney high alert. Run the vampire out of town, no concert. If what I am told isn't right.
I'm not even gonna play the whole song because when the song is gonna be released,
On Thursday, so 2 days from now. Well, 2 days from now, where we're at.
2 days from now, yeah, because you're in a different place.
February 4th. And how it's Reggae Month right now, February 4th.
Oh, the perfect time in Reggae Month. And let me tell you something. This song is not only going to be gearing at the situation, but this song is going to be gearing at I'm here talking to you, and it's a sad situation, but I'm just laughing about some things. I'm just smiling about some things and laughing about things. And I know
I want to share, like for me to put out this song as a Singaporean artist, I'm going to be shunned by my music industry because big artists do not talk about sexual assault in their music out here. It's very embarrassing or seen as taboo, you know? So I'm not doing it for a popularity move whatsoever.
Right.
But I think it's very important that, when we come out off the tour, a lot of big DJs and come to me and say, Meja, if I were you, I would just shut up about the whole thing, protect your money, protect your reputation, and tell the girl to suck it up.
Yeah, because they're probably doing the same thing.
Well, that's what the advice that I was given from everybody. And that's why the song stick to me, because I'm like, I will not do what I'm told if what I am told isn't right. And we have to do what's right in life now. We can't be quiet about things that are not right.
You have to sing that back again. You start singing.
But I think it is a very important meditation and mantra to remember. Even if you teach your children this, right? If someone violate and pull them away and try to make them say, don't tell mommy, don't tell daddy, I want the kids to sing this out and say, I will not do what I'm told if what I am told isn't right. I think the kids should memorize that and sing that to a violator. It's important to instill in people that they cannot go on and be quiet, because it is the silence that allow these type of violations to keep on and keep on.
Right. Well, you know what happened, my dear? One thing, when this song comes out, I already have the song. I can't wait to start to play the song. And I will be burning the song. And I will be, and people, I want you to go and, let me tell you something, the song is gonna bust. This song is a total different thing than, it's a different, the music is different from what we used to. The boogie yaga, this and whatever it is and so forth. So for you to do a reggae song like this, it is an easy door for you. It's open. You don't need no controversy. No, the door is wide open. You know what I mean? Because they're gonna recognize you and put you into the ring quicker than anybody else. So I want to say that my platform is your platform. At any time, I want to talk to that young lady, you know what I mean, about it. The doors are open. If she wants to come tomorrow, any other day, whatever, you talk to her first. She can come and so forth. And feel free to send me all other music. And I want to tell you, thank you very much for you to take reggae music from a little place like Jamaica and take it on your side of town, broadcasting it, and give us some love, because we as reggae artists sometimes don't appreciate what we have. You know what I mean? So when people like you come in and take it and widen the scale and so forth, it is good for all of us, because we may not benefit from it now, but our kids and our kids' kids will benefit from it later on. And the music is good, it's well put together. And I want to thank you so much. You have my number, you have my information. I hope hopefully that some justice will serve. I hope that this young girl will find some form of comfort eventually. And I just hope that the law will work in the right way and so forth. And, no blogger, none of them can pay me for shut up, and none of them can pay me for not talk. You understand?
Yo, Dr. Love, do I say big up yourself for having talk truth, Because a lot of people will not share this kind of thing, right? They will not have a platform to speak so openly about it. And not only that, you look at artists like Jada Kingdom. She have a song called Execution for Rape, and they say a lot of selector won't play that song because the message too controversial. Or Tanya say, no means no motherfucker, right? And so these songs don't get so much play in the dance because it have a controversial message. But you know what? I'm glad that you are someone that don't watch all of those things and just want the truth to come out. And it is brave, and it's helping other people out there, man and woman, that have gone through this. And I respect, man. I thank you for this time to be able to share this truth.
Definitely. And then tomorrow is Talk Truth Tuesday. In your country, it's actually Tuesday today, right now. If you talk to her and she want to come live, She want to come. The doors is open for her tomorrow.
Okay, I talked to her today. I'll talk to her today.
Yeah.
And one last thing I say, I want everybody to pre-save the song. Right. Because you can pre-save it, and as soon as it come out, it will notify you. And that's what's going to push the message out there. So maybe when it come off, or actually, I'll just type the pre-save link here.
Yeah. And then I want everybody to go follow her page, get the song, follow the story. And if anybody out there that have found themselves in this situation with that particular person, the doors are open. Feel free to talk. Feel free to contact her with a truth story. Because you never know what can happen and so forth. Oh, let me, oh, you type it, right? Oh, yes.
Yeah, yes, I type it.
Okay, let me pin it.
Support each other, love each other, man. We gotta speak out about these things. So thank you, Dr. Love. I appreciate it.
Anytime, and never say respect Yadi. From the other.
Tommy Yadi. Later.
All right, big up. All right, thanks. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.